Hey guys, it's me Narelle here and welcome back to a new video. So let me tell you, I actually went to my husband, which is Dollar Tree. All of you guys know this by now. And I recently went there just to pick up a few things for my grandma. And normally I avoid the art section at all costs because I know if I go in there, I'm going to end up leaving with something I don't need. So that happened. I actually found some brush and fine tip markers at Dollar Tree. Of course, it's supposed to be a dollar store. Can you please explain why this was $5? But I ain't complaining because these things, oh my gosh, are so good. Like, oh my gosh, this is like the best quote unquote cheap pens I've found that are brushed and fine tip, because a lot of pens that come from the dollar store that are like this are dead. As soon as you bring them home, they never work. But my lord, guys, I love these pens. I do not plan to swatch them out for you guys because I feel like you get the point of how they work when you see them in action with my speed paint portion of the video. So hopefully that kind of gives a general consensus of what they are used for and what they look like. But I can show you how they look like. So they look like this. They're very thin. And this is the brush side, which I ain't complaining. The brush is actually very small, which I'm not complaining. But the brush is so nice, soft, and juicy. Like, oh my gosh, so nice. And this is the fine point side, which is actually a very, really cool fine point because a lot of fine point markers have that little straight stick as a fine point, and nothing wrong with that. But I generally don't like that style because it kind of eats the paper a little bit more. I cannot wait to get into this video. So what actually happened is that I actually used these in my most recent Instagram live stream as a live test for you guys. So if you joined me in that live stream I did not even a week ago, you've seen this drawing already. But if you didn't, here's the drawing for you. Alrighty guys, so now we're in the line art portion of this video. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be like, whoa Narelle, what's happening here? Because I personally do not like recording my line art process because it gives me like anxiety, and I don't like having really big anxiety when I'm lining something because it's not good for me. But like I said in my intro, this was a drawing I did all on Instagram Live. So of course you'd see me line art this drawing, but since I was going to use water-based markers, which these are by the way, I had to use a liner in which would not smear with water. And a lot of my other liners, which is my Tombow Fudenosuke pen and all of that, a lot of them are waterproof, water resistant, but even sometimes they do smear with water. So I actually went with a Sharpie pen because Sharpies don't smear with water. They do smear as alcohol markers, so please, for the love of God, don't use a Sharpie marker on marker art because you will be heavily disappointed. I can tell you that firsthand because I've had my fair share of new drawings that I've done with a Sharpie pen and it smeared every freaking time. So please find a pen that legit is water resistant, which is a Sharpie pen. So I actually use this really cool bluish purple Sharpie pen because I don't know, I'm trying to get out of the norm of using black as my color for my lines. I still like having the darker tone, but I'm trying to find a tone that doesn't look too offensive. So this bluish purple color I'm living for. So I might try to see if there's other pens out on the World Wide Web that has this color and is, you know, a liner, because I really love this color a lot. So yeah, I might be using this color a lot with my lines. If I'm doing a water-based picture, or if I'm doing something sketchy in my sketchbook, I'd use it. But it's actually really, really nice, and I'm just like, hey. But I think with my Crayola erasable colored pencils, I think it kind of helped. I think it kind of stopped the ink flow a little bit because I had a piece of paper dotting the pen on to get the ink to stay current. So usually I use my kneaded eraser and erase the lines, but I've just become so lazy now that I'm like, kneaded eraser who? I don't know what that is, but please use a kneaded eraser, guys, when you start doing your line arts, because it does remove a good layer of the lead from your pencil, and it helps your pens flow a little bit more nicer. So yeet. So yeah, and the line art for this drawing really wasn't too hard for me because I actually try to make my drawings simple for me to do. I don't like overly complex things because it just makes me not want to go into the drawing and color it or line art it. Actually, I just like to simplify it down so I can add more details with my coloring, which you will see in the coloring portion. So I just figured, hey, I just keep the line art portion in because a lot of you guys just see me color for like legit all my videos, and I feel like I can bring you guys something different to see, and you can see how I do my lines and all that stuff. And now sketching is going to be a whole different ball game. I do not record myself drawing. If you do come to a live stream of mine and I'm happening to be doodling in there, that's a fact. That's what you're going to get as far as me drawing on camera. But as me like sketching for like a video format, I will not do it because I think that's just so much anxiety for me. Yeah, no, I don't think I could keep up that mentality to actually sketch on camera. Line art is as far as it goes. But, yeah, I hope you guys like seeing me line my drawings. I don't really add a lot of different line weights, to be honest, because I just don't have time for that. I just am like, let me get my lines down. If I need to darken something, I'll darken it probably when I'm coloring it. But I do add a dark border around the character, so if any of my lines are inconsistent, that at least helps it become unilateral, if that's the big term for it. I'm trying to sound smart, guys. I'm trying to sound smart, but I'm not doing a good job. But it helps to be more cohesive. There we go. But yeah, it helps it. So I would highly recommend, doing that for a trick if you feel like your lines aren't really all that together. I think that works a little bit more. As for line art, I don't really have a tip and trick speech for you guys because how you line your drawings, I guess it comes down to personal style, really, because the way I ink my drawings, people may not ink their drawings, so I don't want to be like, this is how you do it. But I just hope you guys enjoy the process of how I line my art and how I go about putting everything in its place so I can go to the coloring part of the drawing without having to have too much worries.
Up. Let me know if you ever think that I am being too much. You got me feeling love, even though I own us up. Let me know if you ever think that I am being so. Just stay a minute, another minute. Hold on a second, I love this moment, yeah. Just stay a minute, another minute. Hold on a second, I love this moment, yeah. Just stay a minute, another minute. Hold on a second, I love this moment, yeah. Just stay a minute, another minute. Hold on a second, I love this moment, yeah. Just stay a minute. Stay a minute.
Alrighty guys, so now that this gorgeous man is all lined and beautiful, now we're getting into the color portion of the video. So I'm just going to start off this portion with my likes and dislikes with this marker, because you know I like to start it off negatively and end the video off with positive thoughts. So for my negatives, I don't really have a lot actually. So one thing I didn't like about these, the caps don't stay on each other, like they fall off as soon as you put them on, and I'm like heavily disappointed with that. So you probably have to finagle it in a certain way to get it to stay, but I'm like, you know what, it's whatever, I just don't care at this point. So the caps were my biggest worry, and you know what, that is legit the only dislike I had about these markers. Is it weird? I just don't have a lot to say about them that I don't like. And I guess the thing I don't like about it, I guess, is that they're water based, so if a drop of water hits this drawing, it'll mess it up for its eternity. So I would high-key recommend you guys, if you do paint a lot, hopefully you have a can of varnish by your side, because I did end up having to varnish this drawing after, so water won't destroy it anymore, because varnish keeps water from destroying water-based things. Though I will say varnish is not the most safest material, because you have to spray it outside, so it's not something you can easily spray in your house and you're done. You have to stay outside for like 20 minutes for your drawing to dry. But if the drawing really doesn't mean a lot to you, it's worth the 20 minutes, but you know, it is an extra cost and a factor. So I pretty much would probably use these only for like simple drawings, not big projects that I know I need to keep in the utmost condition. But it's me, so I probably would still use it for a big drawing anyway and not listen to my words here. So please don't follow my prime example. But so those are the only dislikes I had. The likes, I freaking love these. So one thing I liked about them is that the brush nib was very soft and easy to handle. It wasn't stiff, because a lot of cheaper markers, the dollar range, a lot of the nibs are very stiff and they just don't move as freely as you want them to. So, but this one, very spongy, very smooth, very delicious. The markers were very juicy. They never dried out on me. Actually, they never dried out on me. The juices kept flowing, and I'm like, yo, for $5, you're making me very happy that I spent these $5 on you at a quote-unquote dollar store. I really love these things. So they're very juicy, very like, chef's kiss. Another thing I like about these markers is that they're very much so easy to layer on each other, because some water-based markers, as soon as you layer over the marker twice, the paper automatically rips, and I'm like, really? I was loving you. But luckily these markers were not too juicy to the point where you couldn't layer them, but they were juicy enough where you could do some decent layering and still be okay. So that's the thing. They're very comfortable to hold in your hand, which is a good thing. And overall, I really love these. I just can't give these any more praises than it already has. Oh my gosh, it already has. Sorry. So yeah, so that's all my likes and dislikes about this supply. So if you're a beginner and you want to get into using brush markers, but you don't want to sit there and buy Ohuhus, which is very affordable, but when you're like 5, you don't need Ohuhus when you're 5. But if you want to get into like brush markers that's affordable, that you can easily use and just not feel bad for discarding them after you use them enough, I would highly recommend this brand, which is actually by Liquimark, I believe so. So I would highly recommend these. So if you're a parent watching my video and you see that these markers are cute enough for you to get for your young one for Christmas, I would highly recommend them, because I really feel like little kids would enjoy these too, not just us old fuddy-duddies. So yeah, so this gives my both hands of approval here. I really love them lots. So got into the coloring of the drawing. So basically I went to the flat shade method with this drawing. So I pretty much used my method of streaking the color up and down, which you've seen for my base colors, and then I just layered upon that with how I normally layer, because I really just didn't want to do the circly motions you do with Copic and Ohuhu, because I wouldn't have had this drawing anymore if I did that. So the stripy look on the guy's face may not be for some, but I really like it, and it's cute. It's very, very cute. So I adjusted myself with my technique, and I went about it in a safe way that I'm just like, oh, I really like how this turned out, and I love how he's going, how he's looking a gray and blue fantasy. I love this, guys. You cannot tell how genuinely I'm like excited and in love with this drawing. I just can't. I literally just can't. So we're near the end of the video. I'm laying down the background color, which is pink. A lot of people may not like the fact that I'm doing this with this marker, which is to color in a big area with just one marker because it can dry it out. But I am here to say, guys, the marker is still kicking and never died on me after I finished this area. So if you didn't believe me when I said these things are juicy, they are juicy. So please don't hate me in the comment box below that I use this marker in this fashion, but Lord, guys, I love these. I cannot, say how much I love these. The drawing came out very beautiful. The coloring came out really beautiful, and I actually varnished this, and he exists in my drawing binder, and I'm just gonna look at him from afar because I just love him. I will not be making this character an actual character, so I don't need any more characters in my life right now, so I'm just gonna stare at him as like a really good creation that I made on the fly. And yeah, that's pretty much how all of my characters come about. I just make them randomly, and if I like them enough, or if you guys like them enough, yeah, I just make them a character. But I feel like I'm content with having this person as just a person without a title on them. So my coloring is wrapping up, so because I'm just adding my finishing details on the drawings. I will come back at the end to give you guys my closing thoughts. But I will highly recommend these markers 100%.
I feel cozy, yeah. Can you hold up? Don't need no coffee yet. Got no makeup. How do you look so fine? Bust up, bust up. How did I make you mine? Stay a minute, another minute. Hold on a second. I love this moment, yeah. Stay a minute, another minute. Hold on a second. I love this moment.
Alrighty, so that's going to be it for this video. I totally forgot to tell you guys, these are by Liquid Mark. That's the brand who made these. I really don't use a lot of their supplies, so I can't really give my honest opinion of if their supplies sucked, and this ended up being the lucky one out of all. But I can't really attest to how they actually work. Oh my gosh, this pen splattered. Honestly, I didn't know it did that. How? I don't know what happened to him. He was just having a really bad day. This is actually kind of new from me, because normally whenever I get new things, I just kind of talk about them in my vlog, and that's the end all be all. But I feel like I need to come back with a video like this because I really need to show you guys stuff that I actually really like. I am going to make a new art supply video. I think I filmed it, but I just didn't upload it because it's relevant now. So I will try to put all of my supplies that I use on a daily in one video and tell you guys how much I love them and how much I recommend them. Though I will not be putting every single thing. I will just highlight some stuff that are in reference of that. So look out for that. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Give it a like if you liked it. And yeah, comment down if you found these and if you used them, or any like cheapo brush marker, fine tip marker. Let me know if you have a pack like this, and let me know how you feel about them in the comment box below. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.